So this week we've been talking about our letter friends, A, apple, and we've been focusing on the theme of apples, right? So we've talked about how apples grow on trees, how they can come in 3 different colors. Do you remember the 3 colors? Let's hear them. That's right, they come in red, green, and yellow. And we learned different things we could do with apples, like make foods with them. We can eat them by themselves. We can make apple juice. So now we're going to read a story about a guy named Johnny Appleseed. And let's see what happens to Johnny Appleseed. This is a story about Johnny Appleseed. With a name like that, you'd think he was make-believe. But Johnny Appleseed was a real person who lived more than 200 years ago. Ooh, that's a long time. It was a sunny day in Massachusetts when a boy named Johnny Chapman was born. The baby had cheeks as red and round as apples. Johnny's big sister was happy to have a little brother. They played together with whatever they could find, and the sun shone and the rain fell, and little Johnny played and all was well. Johnny's family got bigger. Johnny and his sister were joined by 10 brothers and sisters. What a busy, noisy house. Do you guys have 10 brothers and sisters? I think that would be crazy to live in a house like that, huh? Johnny would go outside when he needed quiet time. Sometimes he'd go along the river, or other times he would sit under a tree and read. What kind of a tree does that look like? Thinking maybe some apples. Johnny would watch the animals in the wild, the foxes playing, the deer dashing through the woods, and the birds flying high in the sky. If he found an injured animal, that means if the animal's hurt, Johnny would take care of it until the animal felt better. That was nice of Johnny Appleseed. Johnny liked being outside. When he got older, he went to work in the apple orchards, just like his great-great-great-grandfather long before him. And the sun shone and the rain fell, and Johnny grew up, and all was well. Oh, I see some green apples on that tree. Johnny learned everything about growing apples. He was able to plant the seeds, he took care of the trees, and he munched on the delicious fruit. Lots of people were moving out west back then. When Johnny was all grown up, he decided to move too. He didn't bring much with him. For a hat, he used his pot. What a silly hat. And a sack did fine for a shirt. And shoes? Well, why wear shoes when you have 2 perfectly good feet? We wear our shoes in school, right? Yeah. Johnny traveled the countryside. The sun kept him warm by day, and the stars made a roof over his head at night. The rain washed him clean, and the animals kept him company. Sometimes Johnny would stop and plant apple seeds. As soon as the seeds grew, he'd sell the small plants to families moving west. When they got to where they were going, the families planted Johnny's seeds and grew trees of their own. Johnny shared his seeds with other friends. Johnny was friends with everybody. Wherever he went, he'd bring seeds, pitch in with chores, and share stories of his adventures. The seasons passed. Every fall, Johnny gathered seeds from apples. Each spring he planted the seeds and he passed the seeds to settlers. And the sun shone and the rain fell and the trees filled the land and all was well. It's making trees go all over. Year after year, Johnny tended the orchards, visited family and friends, and slept under the stars. Because of him, people always had fresh fruit to eat. Because of him, the land grew more beautiful. Did you guys like that story? Do you think that's how apple trees grew all over? Maybe. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed.